Jim. Well, Kostya Tszyu hasn't had any problems in the past with southpaws. He starched Zab Judah. He took care of business against Shambe Mitchell. Corley insists he punches just as hard as Kostya Tszyu, but I'm not so sure about that.
Disputed world champion, but nonetheless, to pack in all of these people is something to be said for it. You take a look at the tail of the tape, Kostya Tszyu, 2 inches taller, 3/4 of a pound heavier, 3 years younger. He has a 1-inch advantage in reach, and he's coming off of a win, that 12-round unanimous decision over Ben Tacky. Leija is also coming off a technical win over Mickey Ward just a year ago. We're just about set for the main event of the evening. 10-point scoring system. World Championship rules now. No standing 8 count. No 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and only the referee can stop the fight. The keys there, no standing 8 count and no 3 knockdown rule, different from all of the other fights if you've been with us for the past 5 hours since the telecast began. If you've just joined us on the world feed, you know that this is an exciting night here in Melbourne, Australia. And now, as soon as the American Network showtime is set, we'll be going to our ring announcer, the very classy Hall of Fame ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr., as we're standing by with hopeful anticipation. Here's Jimmy Lennon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Telstra Dome here in Melbourne, Australia for the featured bout brought to you by Vlad Wharton's Millennium Events in association with Talent Works and Showtime. This unification bout is sanctioned by the WBC President Jose Sulaiman, Supervisor Gabriel Peña Garicano, the WBA President Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor Yang Suk Shim, the IBF President Marion Mohammed, Supervisor Ray Wheatley, and the Professional Boxing and Combat Sports Board of Victoria, Australia. The chairman is Bernard Balmer, Secretary Bart McCarthy, with our Chief Physician Dr. John Jory, along with Dr. Lou Lewis. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, we have Michael and Con Vukovic. Introducing our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Stanley Christodoulou. From Bangkok, Thailand, Noparat Srikaroen. From Melbourne, Australia, Anika Williams. And our 3rd man in the ring, our referee in charge from Melbourne, Malcolm Boner. All right, fans, here we go with the main event. 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed 140-pound championship of the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Melbourne, Australia, it is showtime! Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing black trunks with gold trim, fighting out of and representing the beautiful city of San Antonio, Texas, in the United States. He weighed in at a ready 139 pounds with a record of 43 wins, 5 losses and 2 draws. He has 1 no contest and 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is one of boxing's most admired ambassadors and respected warriors, currently ranked the WBC at number 4 contender. Please welcome the classy former WBC super featherweight champion of the world, introducing Jesse James Leija. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks, originally from Perov, Russia, now proudly representing his adopted homeland of Australia. He weighed in at 139 3/4 pounds. His outstanding record includes 29 wins, 1 loss, 1 no decision, with 23 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of boxing's great international stars and pound-for-pound best, here is the undisputed 140-pound champion of the world, introducing the Thunder from down under, Kostya Tszyu. And once again, Malcolm Bolner is our referee in charge. Now the instructions, 12 rounds of action scheduled.
Welcome to center ring, gentlemen. Good luck to both your fighters. May the best man win. Obey my instructions at all times. Is that clear? Shake hands now. Come on, fighting at the bell. Good luck.
All right, as Jimmy Lennon Jr. said, it's showtime. This crowd of 30,000, approaching 30,000, or maybe slightly over. Look at it.
You made it in
Man,
good
they
time.
have turned out en masse to see this guy, Kostya Tszyu. And one of the classiest guys of them all, as you heard Jimmy Lennon say, is Jesse James Leija. Jesse hasn't come down here to be an opponent. This guy is a former super featherweight champion of the world, and one of the great guys in all time in boxing is Jesse James Leija. And he'll put on, for his 36 years of age, the best possible show that he can. He's got himself in terrific shape, and he's come here to try and pull off, which is perhaps a major task, a major upset. It goes Leija and Kostya Tszyu. They're both wearing black trunks. The man, in case you don't know, with the gold trim, is Jesse James Leija. This is round number one. I'm Bob Sheridan. Wherever you're watching around the world, I'm glad that you can be with us. Right away, Kostya goes head-hunting. Tries to feel him out with that right hand. Sees if he can land the right hand behind the ear. Real stiff left jab in the face of Jesse James. Wide with the left hook. And you see Jesse grab the leg and back him off. Tries to give something for Kostya Tszyu to think about. Tszyu very confident. You notice he has a very wide stance with his legs. Leija tries to move away from him, walks into a left hand, a big left hook, and a light left hook sails over the head. Leija standing right in front of him. Now that's a bad spot for the B. Corner of Jesse James Leija would be well advised to keep him moving. Hear the crowd, hear the Tszyu. It's a one-sided crowd, and Jesse James has been in a lot of championship fights. 43-5 with a couple of no contests, but only 17 KOs. Kostya patient here in the early going, looking for his opportunity to land a big shot. He uses that left hand sometimes as a jab, sometimes he'll measure with the left hand. Jesse hangs on with the right hand of his to try and keep it away. Digging body shot by Leija. Nice combination by Leija. There's a flash of the once great Jesse James Leija there with a combination. How long can he keep that up? He doesn't want to take shots inside, so he hangs on. You see him hook the left hand over the elbow of Kostya. Kostya bangs inside. Referee Malcolm Bolner says, hey, watch the head, James. And while James gets cataloged, head and Tszyu come together. Wild up again, wild shots by Leija. Come on, bring up. Kostya continues to throw inside until the referee said to break. Next left hook bounces off the left ear of Kostya Tszyu. Tszyu back on his heels. Now he steps up into the jab. The jab sails past the right ear of Leija, but the second one didn't. Leija bangs the body downstairs. Kostya bangs it with the left hand in the ear. Tszyu steps forward, takes a light low blow from Leija. You see what a gentleman Leija is. He's sorry, but no matter how sorry he is, it's still a foul. Whether it's an accidental foul or not, it's still a foul. Jesse bends over the waist. Kostya tries to measure with the left hand and set him up with the right hand. The same time remaining in round number one. 30 seconds to go in the first round. Big left hook taken on his gloves by Kostya Tszyu. Tszyu trying to measure again with that left hand. Steps up with the left hand that time. Looping right hand over the ear by Jesse James Leija. Now Kostya hangs on, as does Leija. Forcing him to hang on as he hooks the arm. Light left hand by Leija. Leija takes a big deep breath, closing seconds down the first round. Kostya Tszyu wide out. You hear the reaction of the crowd. Big crashing right, and that's a fairly even first round. Leija did some nice things, and Tszyu did some nice things. Now the judges here, Nico Williams is from Australia, but then there's a Thai judge, and then Stanley Cristanulo, who's perhaps one of the best judges in the world, will let them into the corner of Leija.
Water, give me water. James, he's trying to set up the right. Tap, touch, yeah. He's trying to move with the right, okay? You stay away from it. You keep moving like you did in the first round. Okay, baby? Boxing, dude. You guys never going to be home. Keep your bit of raise. Keep your head moving. We go make
Rush away now to Tszyu corner. That's Johnny Lewis will be talking to him.
Good job, Johnny. Let me 20 miles to pass it. I'm just trying to get you the next ocean light. Hands up on the floor.
All right, here we go. We're coming up to round number 2. I'm Bob Sheridan. Glad that you can be with us. And the Millennium Boxing presentation of championship boxing. Kostya Tszyu, the reigning world champ to the left of your screen with the gold trim is Jesse James Leija, the former super featherweight champion of the world, the undisputed champ of the junior welterweight division, 140-pound division is Kostya Tszyu. Jesse trying to back off Kostya Tszyu a little bit, and he's getting the attention of Kostya. Jesse goes fishing downstairs, loads up a right hand, sticks to the body hard. Tszyu backs off and hangs on. James keeps throwing hooks upstairs and inside. No real power there. And Tszyu actually allowed himself to get hit with a light right hand inside as they were breaking. The important thing is the heads don't come together. Kostya loads up a right hand to the body of James Leija. Leija hangs on, puts to his corner for instruction. And you heard what his corner said, just keep moving. Don't go into the power of that right hand and watch out for the left hook. How do you avoid both the right hand and left hook? Well, you got to be throwing. You got to keep moving. That's his dad, the TNI corner, Jesse Leija, is giving instructions to Jesse James. Kostya Tszyu keeps coming forward, trying to back off. Jesse James Leija plants the right hand. Another right hand, left ear of Leija. That got his attention. The eyes flicked a bit. 2 shots. One of them a low blow. And now the referee, Nelson Bourne, warns Jesse James for the second time. The next time he'll have to take a point away from James Leija. The last thing that Jesse needs to do is lose points for low blows. Again, they're not intentional, but again, they're foul. Nice fist inside by Kostya Tszyu. Get inside, Leija knows how to control the man. Either throw punches or try to tie him up by hooking your elbows over to his. Tszyu comes inside, gets some room, and gets Leija back in his heels, bangs him behind that left elbow. Jesse's showing some nice movement as he circles to his left, now back to his right. Tszyu with a nice left hand, but it doesn't shift Kostya Tszyu. In the corner yelling, don't wait, and there's the third low blow. He wants to begin for the third time, and he's going to have to take a point away from Jesse James, because Jesse's got to concentrate on not landing any more low blows. Again, they are accidental, again they are foul. Leija kind of trying to press it. He was totally confident. James up to his toes. Light left hand in the face of Kostya Tszyu. Leija is actually doing a lot more, trying to out-hustle Kostya in his second round. 19 seconds to go. I think Jesse James may be in the process of winning this round. Walks around to his right. This is a nice round for Leija. He's outworked Kostya Tszyu in the second round. He gave Kostya a close to the first round, and I thought Jesse James won the second round. Okay, he doesn't take a point away. The bell rings. And Jesse James Leija, in my opinion, had a much better second round and maybe won the second round. I scored it as such anyhow. So we're in between as we show you the replay here from action in the second round. And look at Jesse James is trying to attack Kostya Tszyu. Tszyu doing a lot of waiting, but he is a very patient fighter. They call these dances the Thunders Down Under. Almost everything here in Australia is called the Thunder from Down Under. Johnny Thunder the fighter was the Thunder from Down Under. These are the Thunder from Down Under dancers. And they have a performance in Las Vegas in a show called the Thunder from Down Under nail thing, like the Chippendales. And this guy is the Thunder from Down Under. And the name of the promotion is the Thunder from Down Under. So I think he gets the idea. This is round number 3, and what we'd have to say is an even fight right now. Again, I gave you the first round, very close, and I gave Jesse James Leija the second round. This is round number 3. This is scheduled for 12. All 3 of the major sanctioning bodies' belts are at stake. Big shot landed by Leija. Turned the head across the Tszyu. Tszyu banked again by the right hand. The left hand and the right hand. Look at Leija. He's on top of Tszyu. Look at Jesse James forcing it. Look at this. He's all over Kostya Tszyu. He's back and forth. This kid did not come down here to be an opponent. He's got Tszyu's attention right now. James slipped. The referee moves in the sense that most of the crowd in attendance here is so far back they can't really realize what's going on. Kostya does back. Jesse with a nice quick shot across the bridge of the nose. The Leija with the first minute of that round. And now let's see what Kostya Tszyu can do. Banging behind the head inside. And he reciprocates by banging him behind the head as well. Kostya comes forward. Kostya's kind of a looking for his face. Something he won't see too often. Nice strong left hand inside by Kostya. Right hand by Jesse James Leija. And you hear the reaction of the crowd. Leija has come here to fight, using all the experience, all the ring rules he's been in. Kostya Tszyu flips it with the left hand, comes inside, tries to land it right. Smothered by James Leija. Leija smothers him inside, steps back, looping right hand, taken on the glove by Kostya. Kostya steps up into the chest. There's a nice left hook that time. The second minute of this round is a better second minute, but some stiff shots have been landed by Leija. He lands the right hand, Kostya answers with the left hand. And Jesse showing his ring smarts, and as he lands another right hand, back Jesse back in his heels for just a second, but there's no quit from Jesse James Leija. In the final minute of this third round, this round is still up for grabs. Leija had a real good first minute in this round. Kostya Tszyu had a better second minute. He takes the body chopping. You hear the corner of Leija saying, move, 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 because he won the first minute of the round. And Kostya Tszyu is in the process of trying to steal this round by having a good final minute of the round. The middle minute was fairly even. Jesse James, make no mistake about it, landing heavy blows, but he's not known for real heavy blows, but he's a game fighter, using a lot of experience. 15 seconds to go in the third round. Leija right in front of him. Flips Tszyu again with the right hand inside. Sets it up with the left and clips him with the right. You know what, folks? In the closing seconds of the third, I think Jesse James Leija has won the third round of the fight. And I'm scoring it this thing. I got a 29-28 for Jesse James Leija after 3 rounds. Leija's in front of the fight. Look at the crowd in attendance here at the Telstra Dome in Melbourne, Australia. Boy, do they love this guy, Kostya Tszyu. Here's Jesse James in the first minute of the round, just all over Kostya Tszyu. Now the second minute of the round was a little bit more in favor of Kostya, and there's a slip in here too. And you see the feet kind of get tied up, and the referee, Malcolm Boulder, right on top of it, called it a slip immediately, which is good. And now watch Kostya Tszyu coming back later in the round with a nice combination. That right hand high, nice straight right hand, then the left hook inside. So let's see what happens now in round number 4. Don't forget, Leija is 36 years of age. At 33, Tszyu is in the prime of his career. Many people think that Jesse's past his career. But I'll tell you, he's got a lot of experience. Kostya Tszyu known for slashing, tearing punches. Nice left hooks inside on Jesse James. Jesse loads up the right hand. Kostya now wants to be more aggressive here in the 4th round of this fight. He loads up his own right hand. Reaching with the left hand, looking to land the right. Sends the right hand on top of the left ear. It's spread on top of the left ear. And that one, I think it bucketed just a hair of Jesse James. But a couple of shots like that, then Jesse will feel the power of Konstantin Tszyu. Jesse fights back. I mean, this guy fights on instinct. One mistake Jesse's making right now is he's setting up right in front of Kostya, not moving like his corner says. I see the stiff left hand by Kostya. Kostya having a nice 4th round now. Things are going his way, but this is the way this guy fights. He really knows what he's doing in the ring. Throwing a lot of punches, much busier now in this 4th round than he was in the 2nd round. Jesse sets up in front of him again. He doesn't have that lateral movement. He goes out with the left hand, bounces him off the cheek of Kostya. Kostya kind of holds with the left hand, comes with the right hand uppercut. Jesse's throwing a lot of punches, but nothing lands cleanly. Now Jesse ties him up. Costa right in front of him. Jesse right in front of Costa. Loads up a shot to the back of Kostya Tszyu. Tszyu comes forward. Jesse ties him up inside. A little sloppy right now. I think the fatigue is beginning to show. And that stiff left jab in the face of Jesse James. Watch the combination of Tszyu. Tszyu feints with his right, comes back with the left hand. Straight left in the face of Leija. Right now, Tszyu is trying to get in position and measure him for a right-hand power shot. But he does sneaky things to go with a sneaky right-hand lead. Jesse James ties him up. Minute to go in the fourth round. This is a better round for Kostya Tszyu. Costa reels his practice the right hand behind the ear again. The left hand bounces up the forehead of Jesse James. James right in front of him, and that's a bad place to be when you fight Kostya Tszyu. A little bit of puffiness by the left eye of Kostya Tszyu. Leija digs to the body, back upstairs with the right hand of his own. Showing his power shot to Kostya Tszyu. Digs downstairs again, walks into a light left hand. Costa shrugs him off with the shoulder. Face with the right hand. Comes to the left hook. He wants to throw the left hook and the right hand behind the head. Every time they hit each other behind the head, the opponent will do the same thing. Uppercut by Tszyu inside. And sneakily hangs on with the right hand. Digging body shot away from the referee. Right in the liver of Jesse James Leija. Nice uppercut by Tszyu. Leija tries to answer with the right hand. Jesse steps up, but it's Kostya Tszyu that lands the right hand. Looping right hand by Jesse James. Jesse James is some kind of tough. Costa gets flipped back. Real nice round of boxing. I think Tszyu just eked out the fourth round. Boy, this is a good fight to this point. I've got a 38-38 dead even after four. Tszyu winning 1 and 4. Jesse James Leija winning 2 and 3. See that little light cut up in the eyelid.
Take some deep breath. Take some deep breath.
Watch this exchange that we have for you from the end of the round. They both pick it up here. Costa taps him with the left hand. Nice stiff left by Jesse. Tszyu right back with his right hand. And here we go in the closing seconds now as they exchanged a few shots there. We're coming up to round 5 from the Telstra Dome in Melbourne, Australia. I'm Bob Sheridan. You're watching Millennium Boxing here. And hope that you're enjoying it across Australia and around the world. Glad that you're going to be with us. Jesse James Leija, through 4, has brought all that Kostya Tszyu wants to this point. Jesse James beginning to split up a bit, though. The first signs of the ring-weary guy is a little cut up in the eyelid, the right eyelid of Jesse James Leija. To this point, Tszyu relatively unmarked. Neither fighter has been down. Neither fighter visibly shaken. I thought Jesse get cracked one time back there a round or so ago, or it might have taken an effect in his legs, but he seems all right. Tie each other up. They're fighting on the inside. Tszyu can fight inside or on the outside. Leija tries to crack him. That's Jesse with his back here with the gold trim in his front. Tszyu trying to land more shots. He threw a lot more punches in the fourth round than he did in the second and third round. James cracked him with the left hand behind the right ear. Right back with the left of his own. Straight jabs with a good strong right hand. Kostya Tszyu is in the process of turning things around his way. It's at this point that the 36-year-old Leija has to turn it up a notch, because it's at this point where Kostya Tszyu can start to really wear him down and start to bust him up a bit. The heads sort of come together. Joe Souza, who works the corner of Jesse James, did a terrific job in that little cut up in the right eyelid of James, because I haven't seen any more blood. Just tapping movements. These are positioning punches for Kostya Tszyu. He's getting in position now to land a big blow. Digging body shot. And I'll tell you this, Jesse reacted to it. That was right on top of the lip. And that's a shot you can't take too many of. James flips on the righting the second canvas and loses his footing a little bit. Kostya Tszyu pushes off and carries off that left hand of Leija. Leija standing flat-footed in front of Kostya Tszyu. This is not a good idea. Tszyu has the look of confidence in his eye, although the left eye is a bit puffy. It's to no damage of being shot in any way, shape, or manner. Tszyu touches him with the left hand. These are positioning punches for Kostya Tszyu. He wants to throw a big right hand. He'll try to slip off the left shoulder of Jesse James and blindside him with the right hand. That's what he's trying to do as Jesse slightly swings around to his right. Kostya Tszyu will work off that left shoulder, taking the vision away with the left hand and then drop the powerful right. That's what he's doing right now. He goes to the hook, back on the stairs again. Chopping right hand misses. Leija knows how to cover him up. He's clever. Very experienced former world champ is Jesse James. Anyone who thought that Jesse James wasn't coming in to try to win this fight, Kostya Tszyu knows different. As Leija has come to fight. Kostya having a better fifth round, and I think he eked out the fifth round. As Leija showing just slight signs of wilting now. All right, I've given the last 2 rounds 4 and 5 to this man, so let's listen to what's going on. Kostya Tszyu with the legendary Johnny Lewis.
It's all right,
Not a lot of chit-chat, all business.
Just watching, mate, having a bit of a go, okay? Have you got much left? Taking it out of him gradually, okay, got? Got out. You can bring a little right up the cut in there, mate, but bring something to after it, mate, if it's still there, okay? Don't throw it and make it on, but it is on. Jab's beautiful, mate. Back in that, and it's snagging paper. Come on.
Now, Kostya Tszyu is a businessman, too, and while he told me yesterday that he's not distracted by this fight at all with anything but the business end of the fight, well, that's a big distraction for a guy to be kind of a co-promoter along with Vlad Wharton. So, you know, you can question these things at the 5th round, but it's not going to be important until we see how this whole thing unfolds. Right now, we're in the 6th round of the Telstra Dome here in Melbourne, Australia. Kostya Tszyu, I've got him slightly out in front in this fight, although Jesse James in the early going, certainly in the 2nd and 3rd rounds, at times when he made Kostya Tszyu, I won't say looked bad, but certainly got his attention. Tszyu has settled down now. He has things going his way. Leija is still game. He started to wilt a little bit, I thought, in the 4th round. About the same in the 5th round, and let's see how he does here in the 6th. One thing is that Jesse's not showing the movement that his dad wanted him to show in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd rounds, and the problem with that, he's got those 36-year-old legs, and nearly 50 ring wars. This kid has been down the line a long time, and he's at the tail end of his career, but he's certainly a terrific fighter still. He would love to be able to take this fight off the United States. But he better protect himself. Kostya goes to the right-hand lead this time. And again, Leija right in front of him, not a place that Jesse really wants to be. Jesse a little bit sloppy with his punches now, and Kostya Tszyu punches are very clear. There's a straight left hand on the face, bounces off the right eye again of Leija. Don't forget, Leija was cutting the right eyelid back in the 4th round. Joe Susan did a great job shutting it up. Jesse has a tendency to, more like a candle, the more it burns, or the more the time you find around, it starts to melt, and things kind of crumble. Right now he's okay, except for Kostya Tszyu seems ever so much more strong to me at this point for the 6th round. Tszyu getting things the way he wants, right front. Leija misses it again. Leija slipped on the fresh painters on this new canvas here in the Telstra Dome. Kostya Tszyu is tied up with Jesse James, and Jesse throws him off. He doesn't want Tszyu to have the ring generalship, but Jesse's jaw is beginning to hang down. He's beginning to tire. I can see the early signs of it tiring. Big body shot, and Kostya Tszyu is trying to muscle him around. That's what he's trying to do. A stiff jab by Kostya Tszyu. Kostya cracks with a swing right left. James wants to be strong with his right hand, but it's just not there because he's really beginning to show that he's a bit tired with his right hand. This time, there's a little bit of power behind him, but Tszyu is able to slip. Now they're tied up with 25 seconds to go in the 6th round. If you just start working Jesse right now, not because Jesse doesn't have the jab getting through. And now you begin to see the jab taking the head back of Jesse James. And Tszyu knows that he's got him where he wants. He's looking to land the big right hand. Wild with right hand. This James Leija. There's no quitting this guy. Taking body shot to the liver. And now is there a cut below that right eye of Leija? This is the way Leija usually looks at the end of 5 or 6 rounds. The 6 rounds are by the board, and I think it's the new cut. That appears to be a big cut to the right eye now. And now let's see if the bench can keep this thing going. That's the bench is there. They may be going to have to stop this fight because of the cut. I don't know if Leija's going to be able to continue. No, the cut is too bad. It's all over. It will be a technical knockout victory at the end of 6 rounds for Kostya Tszyu as Jesse James Leija cut by that right eye back in the back in the 4th round, and then he gets severely damaged in the 6th round. He can't enter the belt for the 7th. It'll be scored as a TKO after 6 for Kostya Tszyu, who retains the WBC, the WBA, and the IBF junior welterweight 140-pound championship of the world. Once again, patience of Kostya Tszyu. Jesse James came here and gave him all he wanted for the first 3 or 4 rounds of the fight, but then 4, 5, and 6 went right in Tszyu's favor as he took command and took over. And Kostya Tszyu, the crowd in attendance, has just realized that he retained his undisputed 140-pound championship of the world. Still bad in a way for Jesse James Leija because he's been a brilliant fighter throughout his career. Bad cut, you can see it up in the corner in the eyelid. And he couldn't continue as the victory celebration goes on for Kostya Tszyu. So we talked about the distractions that Kostya Tszyu had in becoming involved in the television promotion of this fight. But as they said at the time, it was all academic. I understand that we're going to be able to eavesdrop on the interview that Jim Gray of the American Network Showtime will be doing with the fighters, so stick right with us. From Kostya Tszyu. We have to make this official as yet. Jimmy Lennon Jr. hasn't made the official announcement yet. We'll wait for that to have my ring announcer just make it. I mean, it's academic, but we'll make it official momentarily. Again, it'll be scored a technical knockout after 6 rounds, but we still have to have the official announcement from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr. Here's Kostya Tszyu going around the ring, and a brilliant effort by Kostya Tszyu as he goes up to the corner and gives his fans a chance to see him. Right above us now is a big cheer. Kostya Tszyu. Very happy with his effort, very happy that he was able to have close to 30,000 people, they tell me, in attendance here as we get a look at his Jimmy Lennon.
Gentlemen, the bout has been stopped at the end of round number 6. The referee in charge, Malcolm Bolner, stops the contest upon suggestion of the corner as Jesse James Leija suffering an injury to his right eardrum. The winner by way of technical knockout, and he is still the undisputed 140-pound champion of the world, the Thunder comes down under Kostya Tszyu.
So you heard Jimmy Lennon say, as opposed to what we thought was the cut, not a fresh cut, he actually had a damaged eardrum. He suffered an injury to his right ear. Well, I'll tell you this, for as long as they win, pretty good fight. This is Jim Gray of the American Network Showtime, and as soon as he's set, we'll be dropping in on the interview with the fighters. And again, it'll be Jim Gray of the Showtime Network in the United States, and we'll pick up. Here we go.
Congratulations. First, let's turn to Jesse. Is your eardrum broken?
Oh, I'm sure it's busted. I don't know how to, what they said. I'm not a doctor. I just played one on TV. But no, it is busted. I've had them before, but this was pretty, my balance, my equilibrium was off, so didn't after, I think it happened after the 4th or 5th time. I'm not sure, and my equilibrium was off, but
affecting your balance, your equilibrium, and so forth.
The cameras wasn't helping either, but I kept slipping on top of that, and I wasn't really too sure what my footing was during the fight.
Jesse, how would you assess your performance? It seemed like early on in the fight, after the first round, that you had it pretty well measured up. You were staying away from his right hand, and you were effective.
And I tell you, Kostya Tszyu, a lot of this guy's a great fighter. He never hurt me. He hit me 1 or 2 good times, but he never really hurt me. But he's a great fighter. His defense is really good. His defense is really good. He's quick. Gotta give him. He's undisputed world champion. Well, I thought I was doing really well. I thought I was really doing well the first 4 or 5 rounds. You never know until you watch it on TV, but I'm happy with my performance this far. Wait till I get home and see the tape.
What will you do now? Would you like the rematch, or what will you do from here?
Oh, I don't know. It's not up to me. He's the undisputed world champion. He gets to pick the fighters he wants. I have that was 53 fights for me. I think I'm still capable of showing at least the first 5 or 6 rounds that I'm able to hang with one of the top fighters in the world, and I think I proved myself, or proven my abilities at this late in my age, that I'm still able to compete.
Jesse, thank you very much. We hope you feel better.
Thank you, everyone at home. Thank you. I love you in Power 8. Thanks very much.
Kostya, let's turn to you. Congratulations on defending your title. Great to be here in your country.
Don't say it's controversial.
No, were you aware that his eardrum was broken? Could you tell that he was maybe a little bit off balance?
No, off balance. It can be not from hip problem. It can be from hitting. And he said he'd never been hurt. I believe I did hurt him a couple of times during this time. And I expect this. That the people who put the pressure before fight, the first, second round knockout. I mean, it's wrong. That I never really listen. It's put pressure on me as well, because everyone now expecting to me, not Jesse out in the first, second round, and third round. I never thought this way, because I've seen lots of fights, and I know how tough he is, and I'm not saying this is give up. It's not give up. This is the things. It's necessary happen for him.
Did you feel at any point in this fight that Jesse could hurt you?
I mean, boxing, it's a boxing, that I think I did tell the story when my little son, when I was 3, dislocated my father's jaw. I just hit him right on the chin. I mean, anyone can hit anyone. 3 years old. And just don't blink your eyes. We're in a boxing game, when you're fighting for undisputed champion of the world, defending your title, I mean, anything could happen. I mean, of course, I have to be cautious. But I believe I've done a good job.
Kostya, there's been a lot written this week that this would be your final fight here in Australia. Don't know the exact attendance tonight, 35, maybe 40,000 people here tonight. I know it was important for you to perform. Was this your last fight in Australia?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We have to come back to the gym, not home first. By the way, my son's birthday today, and it's a good birthday present for him. And it's great. It's really good for me to fight in front of my people who deserve this opportunity to be with me in the same time, in the same arena, and share this moment with me. And I believe this is it's going to be very, very memorable time for all Australian people who attend this event, or who not attend, who just watch the fight. And as I said already before, 11 years ago when I started my career on Jeff Fennick as Nelson too, it was the day when everyone still talking about. And I believe I put this to Australia, and another memorable day going to be remembered for a long time.
Kostya, what will you do now? You have a mandatory against Franco, a fighter 33-0, but nobody's ever heard of anybody who he's beaten. Will you take that mandatory? Will you give up the belt? Will you look at Gotti? What might you do next?
First of all, I have to come back to back home, enjoy myself. First, that's what I always do. Yeah, home at Sydney. See my family, only one, my little boy, only one here. And my other son is celebrating birthday today, should celebrate birthday today, but he's away. I mean,
you're not sure what your future plans will be?
No. In terms of, we'll see. We'll come back home, and we'll see what we're going to do.
Kostya, thank you very much for having us here in Australia. We've enjoyed it immensely, and congratulations on the defense of your title.
You enjoyed it. It's main thing, and I'm sure if it's going to be successful, and if you do it better, you come back again.
I'd love to come back.
Thank you.
We just need an invitation.
All right, the comments of Kostya Tszyu. You see why he's loved, the real gentleman. And Jesse James Leija, one of the greats of all time. And you saw what a wonderful kid he is as well, and why it's so unfortunate that you have to have a loser when you get 2 great consummate professionals as Kostya Tszyu and Jesse James Leija. You can only have one winner, and he still is the undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world, Kostya Tszyu. We also had the opportunity to see Muhammad Abdullayev in 55 seconds of the 4th round stop Philip Holiday for the WBO Intercontinental Junior Welterweight Championship. And then a great opportunity to see a couple of young fighters, and Nadal Hussein with his 3rd round knockout over Samson El Nino, and Paul Briggs in his first round victory over Brad McNeil. And, of course, you had the opportunity to see the tape of Danny Green dispatch Brad Mayo in the first round of their fight. So it's been a wonderful opportunity to come down here. We loved it. A tremendous success for Vlad Wharton and Ron Nash. I just want to thank once again the Nash family, his wife Carrie Nash, and Nathan, Sarah, and Kate, his daughters, for helping me out, get ready to do the undercard of this fight, which was given to me on short notice, and just want to thank them. Also want to thank Bernie Balmer, who's the chairman of the Boxing Commission here. That's the Victoria Professional Boxing and Combat Sport Commission. What a great job they did all week keeping us up on what goes on here. So for our producer, Jason Badell, and for our executive producer, Frank Belmont, and our entire